was young, I made a decision that at some point in my life, I was going to go skydiving. Now you got to realize this is a crazy idea for me because I'm very scared of heights. In fact, I can't watch those YouTube videos where they have people climbing around the top of skyscrapers without my heart racing and my hands getting clammy. Because I'm a rational person. I'm not going to risk my life unnecessarily. But then again, I drive on 66 every day, and how sane is that? Well, I finally got my opportunity to skydive when I was a senior in college at UMass. Now, it turns out that deciding to go skydiving is sort of like joining a religious cult. You meet these skydivers, and they seem all reasonable, they're nice, they're happy, they're friendly. But instead of saying things like, the Kool-Aid tastes great, they say things like, after you've jumped, you'll never be the same. Or, it'll change your life. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, if the parachute doesn't open, I will never be the same. And in fact, it will change my life to death. Nevertheless, I decided to sign up, paid my dues, and I went through all the training to do a solo jump. I was ready to fly. As the fall semester progressed, my date was coming up. But then a funny thing happened. Life got in the way. I got busy, you know, between tests and exams and socializing. Okay, so I chickened out. Did I really want to jump out of a plane to fulfill this childhood dream? Well, fall became winter, and they don't jump in the cold. But then spring came, and everybody's jumping again. Would I do it? Well, as I was contemplating this, one day I was walking through my dorm on a Saturday, and I ran into Marie. Now, Marie was this cute, petite woman. She barely scraped 5 feet tall and weighed probably 100 pounds fully clothed. And on this day, she had this big smile on her face, and she looked euphoric. She didn't look like she was on drugs, so I said, "Hey, Marie, what's up?" "Klyde, you won't believe it. I went skydiving today. It was the most incredible experience. You've got to do it." Okay, so Marie joined the cult. But I took it as a sign. I've got to do this, and I signed up for another date. So now it's game day. It's a beautiful day. It's really sunny, few wisps of cloud in the sky, and I'm dressed in a jumpsuit, helmet, parachute, emergency parachute, and a shaky faith that everything's going to turn out okay. So I'm going to fly today, and I'm going to be jumping solo using a static line. Now, you've probably seen those World War II films where a brave company of soldiers are on this big plane, and they hook up to the plane, and their commander's standing at the door saying, "Go, go, go!" And they're jumping out the plane door saying stuff like, "Geronimo," or "Please don't let me die." Yeah, my jump wasn't anything like that. You see, I was jumping out of this old, rickety, single propeller crop duster that barely fit 5 people. I mean, the pilot, he had a seat, but the jump master and the 3 would-be skydivers, we were all jammed lying on the floor, facing each other. So the other thing was, we weren't jumping out of a nice big door. Oh, no. No, we actually had to climb out of the plane on this little platform, and then we had to hold the strut of the wing to steady ourselves. And once we were balanced, the jump master would yell, "Go," and then you would do the spread eagle. Plane would fly away, you would drop, parachute would open, and all was well, theoretically. So we're all ready to go. Plane takes off. We're in the wild blue yonder, and I'm going to be the second guy out of the plane. So the jump master is up there, and he opens the door, kicks it open, and I have a panic attack. afraid I'm going to fall out of the plane. The only thing that's stopping me from tumbling to my death is about 16 inches in the first guy's big boots. And I'm really scared. But think about how insane that is. Because here I am worried about falling out of a plane. In a couple of minutes, I'm going to be jumping out of the plane. No logic here, just raw, pure emotion. So now it's time for the first guy. He's going to go out. And he's a big guy, athletic looking. But it appears he was not paying close attention during training. So he gets out there, he's on that platform, he's holding that strut of the week, he's balancing himself. The jump master says, go, but instead of doing the spread eagle thing, he decides he's gonna jump head first off the platform. Don't know what he was thinking because that's a big mistake, absolute no-no. The jump master gets this worried look on his face, looks out the window, turns to the pilot and says, do you think we should land the plane? This is not what I needed to hear. I'm scared to death here. You know, I'm having serious second thoughts. What happened to that guy? Am I going to be a splat on the ocean? Oh, man. So the jump master keeps looking out the door. They chat a little bit more and they say, yeah, he'll be fine. We're not going to land the plane. So now it's my turn. Yahoo! Childhood dream finally coming true. So the jump master turns his full attention to me, looks me in the eye, and he says, and he thinks to himself, I've got a serious problem. He looks at me closely and says, you okay? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah, why? Well, all the blood's drained out of your face, and you are the whitest looking white guy I've ever seen. White like a sheet. I'm not sure I should let you jump. Are you sure you want to jump? Yes. Really? Yes. Hey, if I made it this far, I'm going out that door, and I'm joining the cult today. The jump master says, okay. Then he starts barking orders. I'm on the platform. I'm holding that strut. I'm balanced okay. He says, go. Now what happens in the next couple of seconds, it's a little unclear to me. I didn't black out, but I wasn't all there. Then I hear poof, and then I feel a tug, back to consciousness. I look up, the parachute is wide open, and I'm going to be okay. The plane puts away, and I'm floating, flying through the air, and it's incredible. Actually, it's really calm and serene up there. The feeling of calmness comes over your body. I'm not afraid anymore. No fear at all. It's really a feeling that I can't describe. It's something that you have to experience. Now I understand the cult. The view is tremendous, mountains, forests, lakes, rivers. But in a little while, I'm going to be landing, so I'm just trying to soak up as much of this as I can. Now, have you ever seen those military parachutists who jump before football games and they land nicely on the 50-yard line and everybody's, yeah. My landing wasn't anything like that. They actually didn't go over the landing part too well in training. Well, they told you up front, you're not going to be landing on your feet. So what we did was we would jump off a 6-foot platform, and they would say, fall and tumble on the fleshy parts of your body. Okay, well, I was 6 feet tall and I weighed 140 pounds. I didn't have fleshy parts in my body. I was a flying stick figure. The other thing that they really didn't go over very well was how fast you're descending from the air. When you're up about 2,000 feet, you're like a floating leaf. Everything's free bird, everything's nice up there. But as you start getting close to the earth, you start realizing how fast you're descending. And you realize you have all this forward momentum. You're basically a bowling ball rolling down the alley. So I land with a thud. Sort of like throwing a 20-pound sack of potatoes off your roof. Then that's followed by this spinning, swirling whirlwind as that parachute drags me along the ground. fun times. But even though I survived the twin terrors of jumping out of a plane and that whirlwind landing, I had a good time. And remember I said Marie had this big smile on her face? Yeah, my smile wasn't anything like that. In fact, it was 10 times bigger and 10 times brighter. I felt like I was walking on air because I just had. And even though I never jumped again, I am still a member of the skydiving cult.